Today with us, we have a very dear friend, Miss Mahalakshmi Pavni. She is, apart from being a great human being, a very wonderful uh, women rights conscious person and an amazingly good lawyer. She hails from Karnataka. She joined Bar Council of Karnataka in the year 1992. She is a designated senior, uh, given this coveted senior's gown by Supreme Court of India, and one amongst the very few women lawyers who could achieve uh, that distinguished status. After her, so many have got, but not before her, there were so many. She had always been extremely involved into causes which are, related to society, which are social causes and concerning women precisely. She is the one who formed that Supreme Court Women Lawyers Association. And if you visit that site, you would realize that how actively the whole team is working under her guidance. In fact, she is the one who actually made everybody conscious about the fact that, we need to have an association concerning the women lawyers and raising up their issues and motivating them on the issues relating to women and, on several areas. If you visit the site, you will get an idea what I'm actually referring to. She has another, something so dear for us all to tell, that she is a very dear daughter-in-law of Mr. P.P. Rao. A senior advocate, a distinguished service lawyer, a constitution lawyer, and maybe father figure for lot many of the lawyers practicing in Supreme Court. And for service matters, he was a name to reckon with when he was here. And for the clients, one name for service matter is that would occur to your mind. The first name that would have to be have of Mr. P.P. Rao. Mahalakshmi has so much already achieved, acquired. She has few to name with she has been conferred with the National Law Day Award 2016 by the International Council of Jurists and Diplomats. She has also been awarded the Mahila Shakti Shiromani Award by an NGO in Nepal. In 2018, she received Sampark for Samarthan Award from Bharatiya Janata Party, and in 2019, the Empathy Empowering People Against Hepatitis Award, which was conferred upon her by Shri Om Birla, the Speaker Lok Sabha, and Dr. Harshvardhan, Union Health Minister. She has represented so far not only the private clients, but the Government of India, State of Punjab, and the Employees State Insurance Corporation. And I can go on and on, but since the subject is something else, so I'm now stopping here because I can take the whole session introducing her. And it's a pleasure to introduce somebody like so special to me. I have a very, very special connect with her for not only a dear friend, she has some very, very special dear heart, a golden heart, one can say so. So Mahalakshmi, and she is friends today talking on the subject, which is sexual harassment at home. She would be, developing that and giving the detailed topic name, but in sub and substance, that's the topic. And my request to all would be, this is no lecture session. We all are having an in-house discussion. So she would be having a heart-to-heart talk. We all would be having a heart-to-heart talk. Once she open up the subjects, please all feel free to have a very, very constructive discussion so that when we finish the session, we all have something to take away at home. We all improve as a, person individually after the session. So over to you, Mahalakshmi.
Thank you, Shobha. It's very kind of you, generous words. And I think it's mutual admiration also. It's not one way, it's both the ways. And now coming to sexual harassment, people normally don't talk about sexual harassment at home. You heard about sexual harassment at the workplace, at here, there. But do really people talk about sexual harassment at their home? No, I don't find it. It's a topic which nobody would want to talk about. It's not a kind of normal thing. And once you start talking about it, immediately if a child opens up, a girl child, see, and sexual harassment, or it's kind of an incest. So what exactly is incest? Incest is an unnatural sexual behavior which is done within people of family. It is within the kinship, it is within your relationship, and it is kind of a relationship where with it's normally an inappropriate act which is not normal between two people who are within the prohibited relationship of marriage. So anybody, maybe cousins or foster father and stepfather, or a daughter father, or a son, even boys are not spared. So and this is a very and it is not normal. You talk about a Me Too movement, but does anybody talk about your sexual relationship or your kind of harassment which you go through, go through inside the house? Well, nobody talks about it. Why they don't talk about it is because if the girl opens up, the child opens up, then they'll immediately say, oh, you don't talk about it, what will the other people think? Oh, it happens in their house, not in our house. We are very very old, good people, we have a name in society, our family honor is going to the dogs, don't talk about it. See, I'll tell you, Shobha, I'll tell you guys, everyone, see, it is a very normal thing. And this kind of a sexual abuse, it is not, what do you say, it is not confined to the rich or to the poor or to an educated or to an uneducated, to a married or an unmarried, not upper class, not middle class. It happens everywhere, but people don't want to talk about it because of these societal norms, the society in which you are living. So until and unless you speak up, who is going to tell? And there are instances where a daughter has been abused by her father, or when a grandfather has abused his granddaughter, and a child, probably a 7-year-old girl, she goes to her parents and say, Papa and Mama, see, don't leave me with the grandfather and go, because he has done dirty things with me. So, and what happens? The girl has to live her life in trauma. It is a traumatic thing. Why? Because the father doesn't know how to check his father. He can't go and tell him. And assuming they say, what happens? He is asked to leave the house and go. So, what do you say, destabilizes relationships. It is not accepted. It is just not accepted. Okay, you take a maid, for instance. If a maid comes to the house and harassment happens sexually, probably the maid will be washing or something. The man comes and, inappropriately touches her and goes. She may not like it. So she may ignore it the first time. The second time, third time, then what does she do? She comes from the poor strata of society, so she gets scared. She doesn't know how to open up, and if she opens up, she's abused, she's rebuked. They'll say, iski niyat gandi hai, ye gandi aurat hai, and but the woman of the house is not able to accept the fact that her husband has a roving eye, or he has, inwardly she may be knowing that my husband is characterless, but does she have the guts to confront her husband and ask him to stop this nonsense? No, that will not happen. Come what may, for her mother, her son is a paragon of virtue. He cannot harass a girl, he cannot tease a girl, or her husband cannot look at another woman. So these are concepts, and sexual harassment means it is just not, I'm not talking about a sexual intercourse here. It can be a sexual gesture, it can be a sexual exposure, it can be a kiss, it can be a kind of molestation, or even words, or a dirty joke. So these kind of harassments do take place. So what should one do? In the young age itself, when the children are about 4, 3, about 5, 6 and all, the schools should take up this kind of a sex education class, or, or the parents should take up the responsibility of telling the child, see, this is a good touch, this is a bad touch, and not only good touch, bad touch. If somebody touches them like that, they should be told to firmly say no. I don't accept it. This is wrong. And, shirk away from them, run away from them, push them away. These are things, until and unless you open up, you react immediately and stop them, it's going to continue. And sometimes children are so gullible, they are so innocent, they will not know the nuances of these things. They will say, oh yeah, uncle is very nice, this uncle brought me this doll, this thing, so probably, and he's given me a chocolate, he's given me a doll, so can I, is it okay, or have I made a mistake? Now how can I go and tell mommy? See, a person should be able to, a victim or a survivor should be able to have a trust relationship. So he must be able to relate this incident to their person they trust, maybe their father or their mother or their grandmother, somebody, and the parents whom you confide in, they should take it up on a stronger level. See, 20 years back all this was not there, but now the government has brought out a child line. So if you just ring up 1098, the counselor will come from the child line, and then they talk to the child, they give them counseling, and then they take up this matter with the perpetrator of the crime. They see that he's booked under certain IPC sections and things like that. So nowadays people are waking up. Previously it was a ghar ki baat. It was, previously people would not even interact if there is an abuse taking place inside the house. What would happen? Are ghar ki baat hai, rehne to, wo maar lenge, peet lenge, kuch bhi kar lenge, hame kyun karna hai? But the government was really nice. It woke up. It saw that this kind of domestic violence is taking place. So that's how when we got this Protection of Women Domestic Violence Act in 2005, and it has gone ahead, So people are waking up, and see, if you see, okay, children at home, all right, if you send a child to a tuition master, we have to tell them to, behave themselves. And we should also ensure that the child is not left alone, and the child is taught to react immediately. Even in school, boys and girls. See, I'll tell you, when this section 377 was decriminalized, there were so many instances of boys being molested, sodomy and things like that. So they were not spared. See, sexual harassment or sexual abuse is not confined only to the woman, it is, or a boy. It is there. It is to the LGBT community, to an old woman. Even an old woman sometimes is not spared. She is also raped by her neighbor. He comes, sees that no one's there. And because it's the pervert, and perverted mindset. And apart from that, there is this drug abuse, the substance abuse. So, and then, this online pornography, this widespread circulation of online pornography, this leads to these kind of instances.
Pavni got freezed. Pavni. Oh, she lost her connection. Prachi, unmute everybody for the time being. We can't hear you, Prachi, Pavni. You are yet to get connected. Yeah, Pavni. Carry on from there, my dear.
So what is, and then they are, can you hear me?
Now it's better.
Yeah. So I'm sorry about this disruption, electricity.
No problems. No
Yeah.
problems.
So these things should be online. The pornography should not be available, or payment basis, but and then substances abuse. And what happens, these children are left in the school buses. So these guys, you know, because of this, whatever is getting available freely, you know, they look into that, they get excited, and then they try to molest the child, and sodomy is performed and things like that. So so we also have a responsibility. We also have to what do you say, psychologically support. And you know, see, when a child goes up to the mother or father and says, "Mommy, this is happening," the mother should listen. She should not brush it under the carpet and say, sometimes it happens between siblings, it happens among cousin brothers and things like that, or the grandfather, things like that. Then what happens? Then you should tell, you should come out with it, and then the mother should give the you know, child the trust. She should believe. She should not say, "ऐसे मत बोलो, इनको मत बोलो, ऐसा नहीं है, तू झूठ बोल रही है." You know, she should confront the child. See, sometimes the children are also frightened. Why? Sometimes the abuser is their protector and their provider. What happens in these care homes, or where the children are in orphanages or things like that, they feel guilty. They are under the psychological trauma. You know, whether am I doing the right thing, or is it right? Or can I tell about him? What if I tell and then he beats me? Or what if I tell and I'm thrown out? I mean, how can I fight against the system? You know, so these are things which goes on in the kind of a child mind. And you know, even the woman, sometimes if she's uneducated or she's just a working housewife, can she take on the father-in-law or the brother-in-law? She has to live in the family. Tomorrow, by exposing the father-in-law or the brother-in-law, her equation with her husband, how does it take? What happens? Does the relationship break up? Are they ready to, you know? So there is a whole lot of abuse and discrimination which goes on, you know. So see, actually speaking, statistically, there is 59 sexual harassment cases reported in an hour. This is the reported. Just imagine how many unreported cases, you know, are there. And statistically, they also say it is better to be in the dark streets with a stranger than subjected to so much of abuse, so much of torture, mental torture, physical torture. I mean, whole thing, discriminations. We are all women are not submissive to somebody. You know, Mary Figure from England, who lived in 1668. So she was known as the first feminist of the world. So she said, if all men are born equal, how is it that women slaves? So you know, that discrimination was there from time immemorial. So we have to break that barrier. We have to break that myth and say, look, we are not the weaker sex. So if you take Shiva, Lord Shiva, in his Ardhangani avatar, Ardhanareshwara, he is portrayed as half man and half women. So how on earth are we being said that we are below? So this sense of equality, gender parity has to be installed in all children at the school level, college, as a nursery level, and it should be practiced also. It, you know, by saying I am, and the mother will say, don't tell anyone about this. Why? You will not be married. Nobody will marry you. अरे society लोग क्या कहेंगे? You know, ये लोग क्या कहेंगे? लोग क्या कहेंगे बोल के लोग, I mean, the abuser gets away free. Depression, and not only that, for the trauma they undergo in the childhood, you know, they have to suffer with it for probably
My friend lost you again. Pavni, we lost you again. So you have to, from childhood, if you can just.
Okay, yeah.
Log kya kahenge wala concept, if you can repeat that and from there.
Okay. So when the mother will say, don't speak about this to anyone. Shadi kaun karega tere se? Log kya kahenge? See, this log kya kahenga ka concept, is very bad, because log kya kahenge chakkar mein the abuser gets away scot-free, and the victim or the survivor, they have to suffer a psychological trauma till the end of their lives. They have to suffer nightmares. It's a burden. The victim will not be able to trust somebody. Where does she go? Who does she trust? Even if somebody is genuinely being nice, she has that fear at the back of her mind that, what is his hidden agenda? Are kya karega mere saath? So this is a never ending trauma. So, apart from like we as advocates, we should, support them. They should also have these psychological sessions which give them guidance and support, and put them on the path to recovery. And these perpetrators should be penalized. In fact, we should not keep quiet saying that Jane do, let him be, it's okay, we can't fight against the system. No, he should be put in his place. He should be told, look, this is what you've done. If you repeatedly do this, we will expose you. We will tell about you. We'll speak about you in the public. We'll come to your office and tell you this is not the way. And then, if you start shunning him and publicly naming him and shaming him, probably he will not do. And if it happens the first time, it should be the last time. Nobody has to bear this kind of an insult, So these are things how we should react and open up and not suppress and put anything under the carpet. No, it happens everywhere in the world. It is normal to speak about. There is nothing called abnormality. If somebody has done it, yes, take the bull by the horns, and you should have the support of the parents. You should not put the blame on me and say, ये तो लड़की है, इसकी गलती है, ये सही, अरे भाई ने टच कर लिया तो क्या हुआ, अरे चाचा तो है, मामा तो है, क्या हो जाता है? This concept of all this should go. You should put your foot down there and then and say, enough is enough. I am not going to suffer this abuse. I am not going to allow you to touch me. So these are ways, sexual, abuses and discrimination, this should be done away with. This can be done away with, when everyone starts changing. Be the change you want to see. So until and unless we change ourselves, we change our mindset, we can't change the world. We can only carpet our feet and, but not the whole world. So if you want the whole world to change, it begins within yourself, in your house. You have to set the ball rolling. The father, if his father has done something to the girl, he should confront the father and ask him to behave himself and get out. This is not acceptable. If the mother's father's done it, or the mother's cousin brother has done it, or a servant, a mali has done it, or a driver has done it, they should be booted there and then. So until and unless we take a stand right now, nothing is going to improve. And why should we bear the brunt? Why should we suffer? We have to speak up. This child line abuse thing is there. Then there are domestic violence where you go and complain. You have counselors coming. So until and unless we as a society come together, and let me tell you, it happens everywhere, not only in India, it happens all over, all the world, Western world, Eastern world, European world, it happens everywhere. So it is not only India, there is these things, kind of incestuous relationships happening, or this kind of trauma which we undergo. So this is the way we go forward. Immediately tell the child to react, open up, don't bottle it, give it back, support. See, you have to talk. It is a normal subject. Because even going and getting a pad from a medical shop was taboo years ago. But today's generation are quite okay with it. It's nothing taboo. So speaking about it also, it's nothing taboo. What is wrong? Please tell me nothing is wrong. Even in school, teachers do this. to their students. If the girl doesn't open up, they'll say, we will put your marks down, we will fail you. You know, there are so many suicide cases. 2-3 years ago, there were young girls in 2-3 very big public schools who committed suicide. Why? Because when she came and complained, the father said, the poor man went with the child, and then the principal said, हमारे स्कूल में ऐसा होता नहीं है, आप समझते क्या है, आपकी लड़की की ये नहीं ठीक नहीं है, उसकी व्यवहार ठीक नहीं है, ये है. But had the principal reprimanded the teacher, taken him to an harassment committee, taken him to a sexual gender sensitization committee there, probably a young life would not have been snuffed. So these are ways of looking at it, and then saying, "Hamare school mein aise nahi hai ji." You know, don't push it under the carpet. At the end of the day, you are a woman. How can you allow somebody else's daughter to be molested in front of you, or even, you know, be accepted? I mean, be subjected to any kind of trauma. So these are things that institutions also need to wake up to. They have to send a message that no, enough is enough. We are not going to tolerate this kind of men, and just give a certificate terminating him from his services and giving him a bad conduct certificate. So the message is loud and clear. Nobody is going to, you know, take it from you. Even if a servant comes to the house, she should expose the husband and the whoever does it and goes and says, I refuse to be a part of this household. I'm not, you know, I am here on my mehnat. I will work for my money. I am not going to compromise on my character and dignity. And you so-called rich, you all think that you can molest a servant and get away. So these things have to change. So when does it change? We have to be the change we want to see. It should be done in the house. Every woman needs to change. She should not go on protecting her her giver, her provider, just because he feeds my children. He can do something elsewhere and come, or he can take anybody to task, or he can misbehave with anyone. No, the message should be loud and clear. No. Hello.
Yeah, Pavni. It's a blasting session. And friends, when I said I would not be able to introduce her fully, I was actually right. She has proven me wrong in simple 10 minutes.
No, it was actually from my heart. I can go on
yes.
and examples, but you know, I thought let us have a chat so that people, you know, they can ask me questions, how to deal with it or what to do. See, what is the next step? So these are, you know, burning issues. Harassment at work, okay, fine. You have the Vishaka guidelines, you have this gender sensitization committee, you have everything happening. But what happens to us behind closed doors? There are so many, even advocates must be facing so much of sexual harassment at home, and they are not opening about it. They are not coming out. You know, so these are things where until you come out and put your foot down, nothing is going to change.
Yeah, saying advocates, I can tell you, like our friends practicing in the highest court of the country. And if you hear out their traumas, and this is perpetuation. And I'm amazed to see that you make money for people. You can't use that knowledge, that courage, that force for yourself. So when their own cause, they would say, yeah, you were saying something.
Yeah, to perpetuate an error is a crime by itself. You can advocate for somebody, you can speak for somebody, but why can't you speak up for yourself? Why can't you show the man the mirror and say, this is what you are, this is how it's going to be, it is not acceptable, I will not tolerate this further. You know, if a woman, maybe it's a child, it's a young girl or a young boy, or if they are affirmative and they come down heavily, I'm sure they will change. People are going to change. They're not going to sit up. And okay, fine, he's a big man. Okay, fine, you're a big man. We will show you what big man you are. I mean, but there are consequences. There are consequences. We have to also be careful how to deal with him. There are ways, there are methods, there is a law, there are sections. So we have to also tread cautiously. Probably she can, in the closed room itself, she can say, don't do this further, I will not tolerate. So there, you know, if she puts the foot down, even small child, if she's taught, saying this is a good touch, this is a bad touch, don't allow anybody to touch this, and the 4 places in your body, a lot is going to change. A lot.
When you were talking,
Shobha,
I was just wondering, Shubham, just a moment only. When you were talking, I was just wondering, you know, for a small child or for the children, the whole society is their parents, the family. And whatever you get to know then, that's an extension of the relations, you know, through parents only. When you go to school, then that's another extension. So you have your society through what? Your family, or maybe then through your through the schools. So both the places you have an immense trust factor. Now, assume for a moment, first of all, for a child, for a girl to get to know that this is, you know, something wrong and I must say no, and then have the understanding that I have to go and, you know, tell it to my mother, tell it to my father, tell it to my grandma, or maybe my teacher or somebody else. And then if they say the first word of yours tells you, let it be, don't voice it. Can you believe what kind of creation you are generating? Like you're mumming down a person, you are silencing a person, the very first trust factor,
yes,
the very first society of yours telling you to keep it close.
And it is so unfortunate. We say Mata, Pita, Guru, Deva. Okay, we give Guru the place of God. And just imagine it happens in schools. Why? Because it's that dirty mental psychology of his. He is a perverted man. And let me tell you, like society, they think about their children, but the others' children is, you know, a kind of candy. Like, see, children are not safe with old men in the neighborhood. So, you know, you have to be very cautious. You have to be very careful. It when अपना आता है तो बहुत, you know, बहुत अच्छी तरह से देख लेते हैं, लेकिन किसी और का बच्ची है तो चलता है, you know. So it is not like that. It should not be like that. अरे उनके घर में ऐसे है, अरे रहने दो, हमारे यहाँ तो नहीं है. So you why don't shield the abuser. Expose him, put your foot down and say, no, this cannot go on like this. And the teachers, you know, if a teacher knows her co-teacher is like this, she should reprimand him. She should bring it to the notice of the school authorities, and they should give a message saying that, listen, we have heard a lot of complaints about you. This will not happen. You better get your things straight, otherwise we throw you out. We will not allow any child, because see, as a mother, I will put my child in the best school, and what do I expect? I expect a safe, conducive environment for my child to grow up. Can I allow my child to be grown up in a traumatic situation? Why should my child suffer? So these are things, if the school, yeah.
Shubham is going to ask something, and then Arneshta sir has already written a question on a chat box. Okay. I will be requesting, sir, after Shubham, you please pose your question yourself. So, you know, give a better meaning to it than me. So Shubham, please ask question to ma'am, and then Arneshta sir. Shubham. Shubham. Arneshta sir, you carry on then.
Hello.
Shubham, you are there?
Hello. Yes, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yeah. Perfectly.
Okay, madam. I want to put a thing like that. This submissiveness, which madam, the speaker, Mahalakshmi madam has added, that this submission is imbibed from the very beginning of where the people are born. Like when we took born, either it is a girl child or it is a boy child, they both are given different upbringing, that their sexual to be more specific, their sexual treatment are different. When a child is born, then whether if it is a male boy, or sorry, if it is a boy, then his specifically his sexual organ, that is the penis, the people or the relatives, they play with it. I have seen this in my family, and also I have seen in the society also. So it is based on my observation that the sexual treatment and the sexual awareness with a boy child, and a girl child is different, totally different. Like in the case of a girl child, where she is made aware, of her sexual identity from the very beginning. Being that is, I don't want to indulge myself. I don't want to get into that topic more, because here she has given the case. Miss Advocate Mahalakshmi, Mahalakshmi madam has also given an example that a grandfather was molesting his granddaughter, right? So in that case, like, look, whenever the grandfather was somewhere also a child, look, he was not made aware of the sexual awareness and sexual respect for himself. He never built that sexual respect with himself, that the girl or any other girl are made to respect their sexual identity. So this kind of where we live in a society where it is highly patriarchal, like Indian society is highly patriarchal, and this kind of treatment also adds very, I should say, it's adding like fuel to the fire. Like it is this submissiveness is imbibed from the very beginning. So this is my point.
Shubham, I already told you, Shubham, that we all have to be the change that we want to see. So,
Yes,
I never said that sexual harassment or sexual abuse happens only to the girl. I also said it happens to the
yes,
boy.
madam.
So they have to be taught. They have to be taught to say no. And I told you there are 4 points in the human body, which should be shown to the child and say that nobody is allowed to touch this, or except for the doctor under the parent's supervision, or the mother when she's giving the child a bath.
Madam,
And it has to go, because mindsets have to change. I'm telling you, it's not the poor or the rich or the urban or the rural. It happens everywhere. So
Madam,
we have to bring about this gender parity. We have to teach the women. I'll tell you what, in my house when I was growing up, I was the only girl with 4 boys. Believe me, my mother made me a bigger boy. She gave me a super status. She made me the boy to run errands. She gave me a lot of strength, the fear, independentness and things like that. So my brothers were sheltered. But here as a girl, I was made to do all the work, outside work and, things like that. So it was kind of an opening. It was kind of a parity. In fact, she put me on a higher level, and my brothers were a little lower. So, but here it's not like that. Even now you see, are beta, puto phalo, they say, become, saubhagyavati bhava, they say. Why? Only the longevity of the husband should be taken, and you give birth to only a male child. So this concept has to go.
क्या हुआ मीटिंग में
So this
madam,
is
my
not,
point is,
मीटिंग में क्या
hello,
Yeah,
madam.
yeah.
Ma'am, I want to make this point that it's okay, but to make aware. But this awareness should be imbibed from the birth, where the person is birth. When he took birth, he should taught. Look, after you took born and you grow up, you see all these misbehavior and sexual abuses. You sustain all these things, and then you take a decision to let's protest. No, this is also a way, but in my opinion, from the very beginning, because this is very sensitive thing. Because in the beginning, what you do, that child is born, if it is a boy, you start playing with him and you do all whatever comes in your mind. That is also a sexual abuse. But that sexual abuse where a boy has just sustained, or just he has seen with himself, is kind of encouraging him to do more further sexual offenses with others.
Point
But
well taken, Shubham. Adnisha sir, you were asking something? Thanks, Shubham.
Good evening, Shobhaji, and good evening, everybody. And it was a wonderful talk by Mahalakshmi ji. Thank you very much. Amazing. My question is, you see, ultimately sexual harassment or sexual abuse, it's an effect. It is not a cause. So you are fighting, we are all fighting against an effect. What is the cause and how do you deal with the cause?
Cause Pavni, you are responding?
No, I couldn't hear the question at all.
Sir is saying the sexual harassment. What is the cause? What is the root cause for this to happen?
Sir, basically it is education, sir. If you see, most of them are,
Lies in the mind.
and it's in the mind. It's a perverted psychology. It is a psychosis, which is a very, very dirty psychology. And, and then that belief that men, we are the upper hand, we are stronger, women are submissive, women are weaker. They are, we are portrayed as chattel and portrayed only as objects. So we can do anything and get away with her. She's not going to question. So these things have to change. And how does it change? How does it change? Only by creating awareness, talking, going to children. See, now this generation is gone. So we have to, if we have to have a really clean kind of an environment 20 years from now, we have to start educating our children from the primary level. And even the women in the house, they also should start asserting their right. They also should now not, be submissive and say, chalta hai, kya kare, khilata hai, pilata hai. That kind of a thing should be done away with. Just because he's maintaining the house, that doesn't mean he can take everyone for a ride or he can abuse everyone and get away with it. So these are the things, sir. The mental psychology of a person needs to be changed.
Yeah, just to add a word with what Pavni is saying, maybe what you are saying is correct, that they treat you, a woman, as an object, something they can deal with whatever they want, or sometimes that she's a voiceless person, she will to voice it. I do not know, sir. We need to really understand. You tell us what is the problem.
Can I just?
How do we know?
Can I comment now? Can I comment, Shobha?
Yes,
Sir,
yes.
You're talking about today's mindset, today's people. What are the causes? I'll just give you two examples, sir. Two very nice examples. One from the Mahabharata. The disrobing of Draupadi. What do you have to say about that? And what
that was not sexual harassment. That was a game of dice.
Game of dice he lost.
No, sir.
What was the
Refused
sadistic
to
pleasure
take this
he derived?
excuse.
Yes, it was sadistic pleasure,
Yes.
and he disrobed her. So this
Agreed.
was the mindset. Then
Agreed.
what about Ravan? He abducted, kidnapped a young wife of a man and went. Was that justified? What to talk of now, sir? It has been happening. So,
Even in a game of a dice, sir, how many times the man have put their mothers for stake? Like, we refuse to take this excuse when that is a game of dice.
what does it indicate, sir? What does it indicate?
Are we talking
That-
sexual harassment?
No, sir, it indicates that women are treated as objects. They are
Yes.
treated as chattel. They are treated as property. They are not
Property,
treated
yes.
as a fellow human being who is at par with her male. She's not treated like that. Once they start treating her like that, mindsets will change. This is not accepted. We don't accept it. How on earth does anyone call me weaker? How does they say that, oh, she's a woman. What? So what if I'm a woman? I have the same intelligence. I'm at par. How can you say I am lower? So I means I'm saying about the women. So
Sumedha, yes. Sumedha, Siddharth wanted to ask something, and then you please ask after him. Siddharth, please.
Yeah. So I was been hearing Shobhaji, so I agree to the point of awareness. I agree there are implement laws and all. And Shobhaji, you will agree to this point. If somebody complains, then what next? 99% of cases, I would say, go unaccounted and authorities are not willing to support. I would say 99% cases. And this is the major cause. No girl comes in forward and tries to complain against mishappening or whatever happens. Very simple example, I'll give a Shahbanu case. It happened decades back. And the law, it took almost decades to get a law implemented of triple talaq. So, and from the day one, our constitution is equality for men and women, right? But our administration, our policing, our judges, I'm sorry to say, when it comes to implementing of laws, even Nirbhaya, it took 7 years. So 7 years the parents have to struggle just to get a justice to a daughter. Whatever awareness you spread, I'm sorry, 99% of the cases, there is no justice done. And people leave the things in between, especially the girls, because after they report, the harassment is more compared to the what harassment they went through before the incident or at the time the incident happened. So this is how the system has been set. And if you want to bring a change, the system need to change, not awareness and everything would be taken care in one day if one strong measures are taken by the administration to set example. And awareness is there in everyone's mind. If somebody is doing something wrong, he's very much aware of that. Even if a girl is experiencing something wrong, she is very much aware of it. Just that she knows if she's going to dial 100 or 1091, she won't get any support assistant unless she is capable enough to have, either she has loads of money or she has contacts. Shobhaji, like we were speaking about a case you said, right? Even a journalist is struggling. So where is the administration and where are the laws strict enough for a girl to raise a voice? So, even after raising a voice, things are not being settled.
Siddharth, I believe you have asked, let Pavni respond. Pavni, before you say something, since Siddharth has referred to the journalist case, friends, I had shared a video yesterday, a painful one, where the journalist had given the account of what she had gone through, the violation, complete violation, and she has lodged a complaint, and now she's running helter-skelter to get justice, and things are getting so tricky to her. You would all be very glad to hear that one of our member in WWI, immediately after watching the video, called me up. He said, I want to give my services to her free of cost, and I would go to the, not only attend her case, I would provide her all legal guidance and like to make complaint in Press Club of India and everywhere. He wanted an immediate Zoom meeting to be fixed with her. I got the Zoom meeting fixed with her. She was very satisfied after talking to him. And now we have to just exchange the papers and other things. And like, she's very happy that she has taken well care of, and now she is not alone. She has a support system, strong support system around. So I believe the purpose of we all getting together at one house serving us, and you know, serving us good way. When we able to help even one person, we are succeeding. So congratulations to all of you. Now, Pavni, please respond to Siddharth's query.
Siddharth, I see that you've been very disturbed. Even I am disturbed like you only. See, we all have hopes. The system will change. And who is the system? We are the system. Let me tell you, Siddharth, you are talking about Nirbhaya's case. You say 7 years. Let me tell you, it's just because we came to the street, the case saw the light of the day and got over in 7 years and the rapists were hanged. If none of us had protested, it would have also been gone under the carpet. Let me tell you, yesterday, I think Live Law brought out a note, you know, their case thing, and they said it took 23 years for a habeas corpus petition to be listed. So this is our system. Because of Nirbhaya's case, the criminal amendments came to be, criminal law thing came to be amended. We brought in the rape. Rape was defined. There were so many things happening. So, you know, Rome was not built in a day. And let me tell you, we women, we are now. So what we are trying to say is, we will see a change, but not immediately. We all have to work. We are all part of the system. If we start working now, probably that's what I told you. 20 years from now, you will see much, much better things. And let me tell you, you also said that the person who is the victim knows what it is. Yes, they know what it is. Then why don't they say no there and then? Why do they allow it to happen? Why do they have to suffer? See, until and unless you have a good support system, not only outside, in the house. अरे जाने दो, अरे रहने दो, अरे लोग क्या बोलेंगे, अरे वो क्या सोचेंगे, तेरी शादी कैसी होगी, कब होगी, कौन तेरे से शादी करेगा, ऐसे सवाल आएंगे तो कौन आकर बोलेगा? You just tell me, I mean, this is the way the Indian society thinks. So for this society to change, it's going to take years. And let me also tell you, it is happening. Things will move. See, you are a youngster. There are so many youngsters. There are so many people who will be watching it. And if I am able to make an impact, yes, there are many people like us, like Shobha, the others. We are all women working. We, even as a senior advocate in the Supreme Court, I have experienced kind of harassment. I have, you may not believe it, but I have been told, when I came out smiling out of Chief Justice's court, they said, "Oh, what happened?" I said, I mean, my client got a very nice order. So, what did that senior advocate say? A father of 4 daughters. You know what he told me? He said, "Yeah, the judge saw your smile." So it was a sexist, misogynistic remark, and I had to suffer it. But I didn't suffer it. I said, "Sir, if that is the case, why don't you send your daughters to argue?" So I nipped him in the bud. So these are instances. It's not, I'm telling you, harassment or abuse does not happen to the poor or to the rich or the young or the old. I'm generalizing. It can happen. It's happened to me. So there are, things. So we have to, give it back there and then and try to assert our right. And men are also equally responsible. They should also protect us. They should also come and say, let us treat the other women as our sisters, our daughters, our mothers.
Correct. So ma'am, just last point I'll just keep.
Siddharth, I'll just add one word. System may not be working well. As Pavni said, we all part of system, we will make it work. The point is, if we start saying no, and we means the women, from the point 1, maybe you would be having a lesser number of complaints to reach, because then the crime, the offense, the wrong has been, addressed at the first stage, and it may not be perpetuated. We are not even advising for every single first instant to rush to complaint. But if you can address it at home, at your workplace, and get on with harmoniously. If the person is corrected, so the agenda is to correct the person also. We cannot have so many erring men around, Baba.
No, I agree. So my only point was, I agree for the awareness. Other thing, it's just that the system administration need to be strong and set some examples, so that the confident enough to raise the concern and say a no. So that they know there is a support system which is going to support them and help them to sail through. But only problem, the girl is not able to say no because the support system is not strong. And they are really scared what happens next if they are thrown out of the house, or if they reach to police, they would need money, there will be no assistance. That's why 99% of the complaints or things go unaccounted. Only 1% or 1%, I would say, reaches out, and those are taken care of. So my point is, we should focus both ends, but the focus should be more making the accountability of the system, so that one has assurance that we dial 100, there will be assistant, and not only assistant on that day, but even the follow-up assistant would be there. I mean, that's my only point to keep it here in that context.
Totally agreed to that. And one more point I'd like to say, but all my lawyer friends are going to beat me up. But nevertheless, let me tell you, we advocates are also to be blamed. Why? When the abuser comes to us, we defend him. Why? Because we say that, yes, everyone is entitled to an advocate. So we should also tell that man, listen, what you've done is not right. This is not the way. It is high time, issue an apology or do whatever is required. If our lawyers' mindsets also change, then probably something can happen.
So the social responsibility qua us as well, when we acting as a professional, at the same time we keep that social responsibility aspect alive in us.
Right.
Sumedha? Sumedha? Yeah, she's there.
Good evening, ma'am. Good evening, everyone.
Right.
So I had just one question with regards to, whatever I observed in the questions and everything. Ma'am, do you feel that a lot of time, the entire struggle behind women getting justice, their access to justice, and the atrocities that are faced by them, it's trivialized under the pretext of saying that, oh, not all men, but yes, all women. So a very prominent argument that has come across from what I feel in my limited interaction with the courts, that a lot of times men come up with this argument. I think someone mentioned now as well that, oh, even men undergo sexual harassment. I mean, ma'am, do you think that, you know, this actually tries and taking away the main point of harassment as an issue? I mean, do you think, ma'am, what are your views on this?
I totally agree with you, Sumedha. It happens. Sometimes, you know, what happens is, like these men, they normally trivialize, or if a woman, when she speaks out loud, or when she's trying to assert her authority, immediately she's ticked off as a cantankerous woman. Or this woman, she only knows to shout, or keep away from her. You know, these kind of comments. Why? Because they are not able to digest when we, you know, point their flaws, or we try to put them down or buttress their argument. They feel, you know, a little insecure. They feel a little agitated, a little henpecked. Their feathers are ruffled. So what else do they come out? They try to suppress you. They try to show their dominance. They are not, you know, superpowers or something like that. But the mindset, there again, they try to trivialize the issue, saying it's chalta hai. Ye aurat ke saath aisi hota hai. I mean, rehne do. So that's how it is. That should not be. They should also learn to respect the woman who is opposing you or who's standing against you. They should give that respect. They should give, because ultimately men are men.
Not fair. Not fair.
But men are men. I'm just talking about, see, somewhere they only feel for their family, their close ones. That same thing they do not have it, you know. See, when I do a criminal case for that matter, I mean, I've seen such all kinds of cases and things like that. And if it's a woman who's involved and, you know, she's been the victim, my heart bleeds out. It, you know, but that is not the same proportion or emotional quotient which a man looks at it as brief. It's another brief for him. You understand what I'm trying to say? So it is, and then they try to, you know, figure out and point out mistakes and
trying to bring
One
them
always wonder when a man touches you wrong way, you know, maybe a rub on your shoulder or your back. You almost, you know, always get amazed, like, would he be doing the same thing with his own daughter? Like, he would then be putting up all efforts possible to protect her daughter from everybody else. Right? So, like, God knows what is this mentality when you can actually do it with someone else. Either you do it with your daughter as well, or otherwise treat the other person, give that respect.
But Shobha, let me tell you, I have seen cases, it happened in Bangalore about a couple of years ago, where a man raped his own 3-year-old daughter.
No, you are right, Pavni.
It is so
There are like hell lot of examples of that nature. But we have like number of men who are overprotective when it comes to female of their house.
Yeah, that is.
They're vultures when it comes to the next women.
Yes, absolutely. I totally agree. So
Like,
there he forgets, you know,
yes.
that this lady can be my sister, can be my daughter, can be my, relative, but she doesn't deserve the same respect what I give to my women. That here I am viewed as an object, as a, you know, as a property.
God knows what, consumable or maybe an object or in property. Really, we have to enter into somebody's mind to understand that what is that seed, what is that, you know, kida in that mind, what is that problem? One had to dissect their mind to understand what's wrong.
And another thing is, when he touches inappropriately the first time, that time only you must put your foot down or nudge him, or, you know, give him a stare and ask him to, you know, keep his hands to himself. If it is not done, then he will presume, oh, she's okay with it, you know, chalo, let's try another time, let's do it, she's enjoying it. This is also which goes on in their psyche.
Since if you talk somebody smilingly nicer way, people even take that as granted. Yeah. So they tell us we deserve only a stare. Don't be nice to us, otherwise we would be a monster to you. See, the women, we behave nicely when somebody behaves nicely to us. With them, there is another problem. If we behave nicely to them, they would say, oh, now I'm a monster to you. So maybe to keep his monster under the carpet, we have to be always very rude to them. I do not know what kind of treatment they want. Basically, this is a message, treat us badly. Don't treat us equal. Like maybe that's...
Or probably if we smile at them or talk to them freely, then they say, oh, we can have a go with her. She's chalu, she's open. You know, these are the things. So, I mean, so every person should draw that line, that Lakshman Rekha around them and be in their space.
Behave, basically behave.
Behave, don't mess with me.
So Pavni, it was amazing session, friends. It was like we can go on and on, but next time Pavni would come again, and other time, next time, maybe one of you speak on the subject. Tanvi, you want to ask something now?
No, I'm enjoying this. It was really good talk. Namaste, ma'am.
Want to ask?
No, I
Great. So some other day we'll talk
Was it
more.
correct?
And Pavni, such a wonderful session. Enjoyed every moment of it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shobha ji, for giving me this.
Thank you, everybody.
And I hope everyone, I mean, agreed with my views. It was not a lecture. It was just a chit chat for me. And I hope you all subscribe to my views.
And to practice it, practice it at home. At least now, today, each one of us tell our family members, our female at home, other people at home, that listen, any wrong thing, don't put it under carpet. Don't unnecessarily try to defend your relative, be it your husband, brothers, son, your father-in-law, whosoever. Everybody feels safe to say it, and then you take the case further, like to talk to the person who has done it, the perpetrator. Please talk to your home, like talk everybody in your home, and let's start educating each other.
Yes, and also ensure your domestic staff, everyone
Yes.
is educated.
Yes. Thank you, everybody.